Hello everyone! Welcome to our English lesson. Today we are going to acquire a knowledge of Abay Kunabayev's poems. Not for amusement do I write my verse and have a discussion around it. Before starting the lesson, let's get introduced to our lesson objectives. At the end of this lesson, learners will be able to search and analyze what he has read to contribute to the formation of their own opinion, enrich their language, develop the ability to generalize thoughts, words, and expand the horizons of knowledge. Learn to nurture their love for Abay's works, strive for noble human qualities, goodness, and art. And now please draw attention to these questions below to get a general idea about Abay Kunabayev's poetry. Check what you know about Abay Kunabayev's life. Check your answers. What poems of Abay Kunabayev do you know? Poetic speech, the queen of literature, implies summer, the apple of his parents' eye, and so on. The second question, what is the main theme of all his poems? In Abay's poetry, we find various types of socio-political, philosophical lyrics affecting the fate of the people, their way of life. His poems reflecting the inner soul of a person, his love to lyrics, his satirical poems, pictures of nature, as well as his poems dedicated to individuals, etc. They have a sense of joy and a great faith in courage and sadness and importunity and bitter criticism for everything. Why is it said that the founder of written literature is Abay Kunabayev? Abay is the founder of Kazakh written literature, a major representative of Kazakh poetry of the 19th century. Abay's poems occupies a special place in our literature. Close communication with the leading representatives of the Russian intellectuals, people had a great influence on the path of Abay's progress. He skillfully spoke the works of Russian classics in Kazakh. Watch the video and tell what have you learned from the video. What the poem "Not for amusement do I write my verse" is about. Try to find out. Is a sacred treasury of Kazakhs. Abay will live forever with his native people and call them to all new horizons, to all new peaks. First President of the Republic of Kazakhstan, Nursultan Nazarbayev. Task 1. Check your answers below. What have you learned from the video? Tell in one sentence. So, suggested answer key. It is known from the video that by his poem, Abay outlined the difficult task of being a poet and some prerequisites for becoming a poet. Dear students, before reading the poem, please pay attention to these new words and make notes of them. So, new words, not for amusement do I write my verse poem. Acute. Something that causes severe problems or damage. Alert means quick to see, understand, and act in a particular situation. Verse. writing what is arranged in short lines with a regular rhyme, poetry. The next word, grasp, to quickly take something in your hands and hold it firmly. Divine, connected with a god or like a god. Preach, to give a religious speech. Okay, the next, forebodings, a feeling that something very bad is going to happen soon. Sin, the offense of breaking or the breaking of a religious or moral law. Genuine, it is real and exactly what it appears to be. Highwayman, in the past a man on a horse and carrying a gun who stopped people traveling on public roads and stole from them. Okay, wingbacks, a person who talks too much about boring things. The next, idler, not working or being used. Herd, a large group of animals of the same type that live and feed together. Extol, large group of animals of the same type that live and feed together. Songster, a skilled singer. The next, tempt, to make someone want to have or do something, especially something that is unnecessary or wrong. Deplore, to say or think that something is very bad. Dissipate, to cause to gradually disappear or waste. Braggart, someone who proudly talks a lot about himself or herself and his or her achievements or possessions. Lore, traditional knowledge and stories about a subject. Okay, and now students, let's begin to read the poem. Read the poem. Not for amusement do I write my verse. Not for amusement do I write my verse, nor do I stuff it full of silly words. It's for the young I write, for those whose hearing is acute, whose senses are alert, men who have vision and are quick to give response. Will understand the message in my verse. Approach my poems with an open mind, and in them many answers you'll find. Though you may not grasp them fully the first time, not having heard such words before in rhyme, how strange when people fail your meaning to divine. They instantly demand to hear a different kind. To all as read I don't sing a hymn, nor to a beauty with a golden chin. I don't preach death nor voice forebodings grim. I do not teach the young jiggits to sin or honor to forget. My love for men is genuine. My one ambition is their confidence to win. Of highwaymen are bred those liars bold, those windbags, idlers born into the fold. They have no home, no heart, no sense in, no soul. For what they really are, they are known to all. I'd rather have my voice forever silent fall. They by such people be admired and extolled. My brothers songsters, listen, I implore. Do not be tempted in your poems evermore. By empty words you will yourselves deplore. You will dissipate your talent never to restore. And tell me, are not you already bored with braggarts, women, chasers and their lore? 1889, translated by Olga Schatz. And now, students, read the poem again and try to answer the questions, including your own ideas. Task 2. Answer the questions below. The first question: what does it mean to abide to write poetry? For abide, writing poetry means giving an example for young people, not for entertainment. Second question: what kind of person understands poets' words? Men who have vision and are quick to give response will understand the message in his verse. The third question: who is the Abaya's poem dedicated to? It is for younger generation, for those whose hearing is acute, whose senses are alert. Task 3. Complete the diagram about who Abaya was. Task 3. Check your answers. Abay Kunanbayev was a philosopher, a founder of Kazakh literature, a public figure, a composer, an educator, a democrat, a writer, a great poet. Task 4. Match the verses with what the poet meant. 1b. About who the poem is dedicated to and who can understand it. 2e. Says that he is surprised at some people. 3c. Talks about old age. 4d. He talks about dishonesty and stupidity of some people. 5a. Requests for youth. Okay, students, in the end, I would like to conclude our lesson by this quotation. Lines cluttered with unnecessary words speak of the poet's helplessness and lack of culture. Alas, there are so many ignorants among the poets, so many who are not competent to judge. Abay Kunanbayev. Poetic speech, the queen of literature implies. Well done! Today, in the lesson, you have searched and analyzed what you have read to contribute to the formation of your own opinion. You have enriched your language, developed the ability to generalize thoughts, words, and expanded the horizons of knowledge. You have learned to nurture your love for Abay's works, strive for noble human qualities, goodness, and art. Okay, now homework to learn by heart Abay Kunanbayev's poem. Not for amusement do I write my verse. Reflection. Students, express your attitude to the lesson and give self-assessment. So, in the white hat, students will talk about thoughts mixed with facts and figures which they learned throughout the lesson. The red hat symbolizes feelings, guesses, and intuition. The black hat is a comment on the lesson, a recommendation for the next lesson. Yellow hat is the actuality of today's topic. Green hat means creative work, new concepts in the lesson. The blue cap is the conclusion of the lesson. After listening to the opinions of all 6 heads. Okay, that's all for today. Our lesson is over. I hope that you have learned useful piece of information for yourself and you will benefit from it in the future. See you next time, students. Goodbye.